That's why it's essential that we prune it right every time. And so then you take off all the suckers right there. Remember guys, it's in the nook right here. So if they've got the main vine coming up, you just look along that main vine and you find, okay, this is a sucker, because there's the leaf and then that, and it's coming right there. And then, yep, so that's how you do it, just all the way up. And then don't mess with this top part up here, because we'll let that grow a little bit more before we actually start trimming it down and stuff. And so that's it guys, but just be very... Pause.
Ezekiel 17, it describes a man taking seed and putting it in the field, and it grew up and it spread its roots and it started putting forth shoots. On our tomato plants, these suckers are kind of like those shoots. When we have too many of them, what do we have? A big old mess. So when we have a lot of things, shoots are good, shoots are necessary, but when we have too many, we aren't going to be able to focus our energy, and we'll be pulled in way too many directions at once, and we're just gonna be a mess. So our tomato plants are really low, right?
Yeah.
They can't really reach higher because they're too busy reaching out. If we want our plants to be taller and have a better access to the sunlight, which gives them energy to make fruit, what do we need to do? We gotta prune them. And what are these for?
Take them to strengthen them, or to make them grow upward.
Make them grow upward and give them guidance, give them a framework to go by, giving them direction on where we want them to go, right? So if we prune them like this one is, it's only got really room to grow up. So are there things in our lives that we have pruned before that we have realized, hey, now that I don't do this thing, I realize I can do a lot more other things. Like when we were kids, we would play pretend in the kitchen, right? When you stop playing pretend in the kitchen, you realize, hey, I can actually make real food, and I can strive higher and make it actually nourishing and not just, play pretend for fun. So what other things in our lives could we prune in ourselves that will help us reach a higher height? For myself, I know I have interests in a billion different areas, and last year Yahweh really pruned me because I love the idea of natural herbal medicine, and for a while I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna go to this really fancy medical school up in Oregon, and I even went there to visit the college. I'm like, oh, this is great. They want to use science to back up their natural medicine and blah, 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 blah. And I wouldn't have been here if I had gone and done that. So he pruned that out of me. I still love treating people with the herbs that he has given us, but I realize that GIT is a better priority because I can serve more people in a stronger way than I could just going to a school and getting further in debt and doing all these nasty things that our society says is really great, but is really chains.
I find it harder to take off the bigger branches that we've let grown so much, and we could use that in our lives, if we get too attached to something, that we're so attached to it that gets
really hard to remove. Yeah.
But
Then you see whenever you take those big ones off that you're so concerned about removing, you just see how clean it looks, how it just has the one going up now instead of still. Wow, that has a lot of fruit on it, but you can step back now and say, wow, that looks a lot cleaner, and you can tell kind of what's going on now.
Yeah, and another thing I noticed is down here you can see that these leaves are crying out, but the upper ones you can't tell. If I had not pruned that one, I wouldn't be able to tell that that one is needing something. I haven't quite learned all of the science yet, but it's needing some nutrients. That's why it's yellowing and getting all gross looking or whatever. So if I hadn't pruned that plant, I would think it would be fine, but once you prune stuff, you can realize, hey, this area needs help. I need more of this in my life, this certain nutrient or whatever. So yeah, there we go. Phase 2.